Okay, we beat all the chapters. We have basically finished the game. Oh wait, what is volume 5? Now, after so many years, I don't know, 30 years later after the release, nah, not 30, 25 years after the release, I finally see the epilogue of this game. Let's have a look. How does it all end? Might as well play 5. I think it's the outro, so it shouldn't be so long. Oh, we're actually playing? Okay. You see, this is much later. I think the game played in, what, 1920 something? And now it's 1942, so... Episode 5A. This is much, much later, like 20 years later. Oh, we can... Since when can we draw weapons in the headquarters? That was never the case so far. It's been 2 years? No. This is much later. This is like 20 years later, I think. That doesn't look good. Let's hit the switch.
Blood on the desk.
I want to hit the light switch, no? Not possible? Oh, it is possible. Nice.
What the hell happened?
Oh my god, there's a head. A severed head in the headquarters. Wow. Wait, this is the doctor's office. This is the training. This is the trainings room. Let's check one after the other. This was the... Oh my god, there are more body parts.
Blood everywhere.
Yo, Colt, welcome. Hello, everybody. Thank you for the raid. Welcome, raiders. Welcome, Colt. What was on stream today? Good to see you. We are currently playing the epilogue, so the last few minutes of Nocturne, this classical old horror game. That is in some parts excellent and in some parts trash, and not the good kind of trash. So if you don't want to get spoiled, you have to jump out. If you want to see how the game goes, then have a look. How's it going? It's going pretty good. The game was very frustrating today.
No signs of life. No sign of holiday. The computer's trashed.
We are basically part of a special unit here, and we returned 20 years after our last mission to our headquarters, and we find blood everywhere, and I found some body parts. So I don't know what's going on, but it'll be interesting to find out. What is
Holiday
this?
Spare keys. One of these will open the briefing room door.
Okay, it's not looking good. Something terrible happened to our headquarters, so... You have a battery, okay. That's good. Alright, wait, this is not the briefing room, or... no, this is the briefing room. Alright, I think this is it. Let's see what's in there. What? First of all, the sound I think is not working. Second of all, boo! What is this? Oh man. Okay, so like who wrote that? It looks interesting, especially a tower-like arena. Okay, I don't know if you have the same problem. For me, the sound is kind of very distorted. So I think we gotta stop here with that. That was disappointing. Not necessarily because I don't like cliffhangers, but I don't like cliffhangers when I know that the franchise ended with the game and there will never be a successor. The game was released in '99 and there was never a successor, at least not a direct successor. So one of the characters, our female partner who is part vampire, is later basically appearing in a spin-off that is then the series of Bloodrayne, which I think spawned 2 titles. So technically there's a little bit like continuation, but it's not the exact storyline, and I don't think the character of Stranger is ever appearing again. That was Act 5, yes, that was a little short, and that was not really resolving anything. So a little disappointed with Act 5. I knew that it was short. They said it back in the day that there's a tiny chapter 5, but I expected a little bit more, some resolve, but there was no resolve. So that was the game. Yeah, hard to say. I think chapter 1 was pretty cool, and chapter 2 was very cool as well. I think chapter 1 and 2 were both really cool. And I would like to recommend people playing chapter 1 and 2 if they like the old school original RE1 with tank controls and, you know, all the smaller issues that it had. Then chapter 1 and 2 are great. But the problem is that chapter 3 is kind of meh, and chapter 4 is absolutely terrible. So I can't easily recommend this game to anyone. Yeah, that's the problem. Chapter 4 was absolutely horrible. So you start off basically with no... Okay, the first part was already horrible. On the graveyard, you have to find some keys that are like 2 pixels and not randomly, but dropped by some enemies in random ways that you don't even see. So I think that took me like an hour to find 3 keys in an area. That was the first part, how the last episode started. And then you're in the house, where I thought maybe it gets better, but it got even worse. You don't find a weapon in the beginning, except if you understand that super trick that you have to use the medallion with the statue, which is completely random. I didn't understand it. You have no weapons. There are everywhere traps, not the good kind, the kind of, I see something, let's evade it. The kind of, boom, you're dead. Okay, and next time I will not step on that tile. Boom, you're dead. Okay, I will also not step on the other tile. You know, pure trial and error. Then there's a million doors. You have a million enemies. Most of the doors are locked. You don't know where to go. There's basically no story progression where you understand, okay, my next target is I have to do this, or I have to find that, or I have to make it here. It's just like you're randomly in a house with a million doors. You don't know what to do. We played this for 6 hours. I'm sure if I replay the chapter now, I'm sure I can finish the chapter in 30 minutes without speedrunning it, just like, you know, because I know where to go. I'm sure we can do 30 minutes. Not to forget that we lost, I think, 15 to 20 minutes because we had to pick up a book and the game was bugged and we couldn't pick up the book no matter what. I tried for 20 minutes to pick up the book. Then we loaded an old save, went there again, and I could immediately and instantly pick up the book. So the book was bugged and was not able to be picked up. So, chapter 4 was with the worst of video games that I've ever played. And chapter 1 and 2 were kind of fun. Yeah, were actually fun, like in a original RE1 mode, so... Yeah, what can I say? Maybe you should get the game if you like these old school survival horror games and you are resistant to frustration. You can play the first 2 chapters, is no problem. It's not easy, but you'll get a hang of it. It's fun. You can even play chapter 3. Chapter 4, I don't recommend. If you want to play it, I can't recommend it. Because I wanted to say, get a guide and check the guide. But the problem is, I checked the guide, and the guide was inaccurate. There was only one guide on the internet for this game, and that guide was inaccurate, so it didn't even help. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know, maybe have me on short dial if you play this game, you know, or on Discord. And if you're stuck, I can type in, or I can tell you, no, you have to go left, no, right, the other door. Because the only guide on the internet seems to be incorrect. I mean, you can look for a playthrough on YouTube, but yeah, it's not much fun playing what is already on YouTube, right? So yeah, that was Nocturne. That was our Halloween game for this year. Not gonna lie, a little disappointed after the last chapter. Also, chapter 5 was very disappointing. The Spookhouse was basically waste, and everybody seemingly was dead, and then it just ends. Yeah, that's gonna be it. That was Nocturne. I can't really recommend the game. I think the idea behind the game is really, really cool. For me, the idea behind the game is like 20 times better than RE1, so I wish this game would get a remake or a sequel. Doesn't really matter, right? The idea that you are in a special unit against all kinds of monsters, and you travel the world, you go in this location, in this country, and there are vampires. Then you go into another location and there are like some insect monsters. Then you travel somewhere else and there is zombies running over. You know, the variety in this game is fantastic. So many different monsters, so many different bad guys, story elements. This is so cool. They should really make another game like that. That was fantastic. Just then the execution, especially towards the end, really was bad. I guess they ran out of money or time when they made the game, and then they just put the last part together. I don't know.